G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Merry Christmas by Ed Sheeran and Elton John. And this is a really fun Christmas song. So for the basics, you'll just need your guitar and standard tuning and you won't need a capo. Now, if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve in your guitar in general, then sign up to Guitar Zero to Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. Let's jump into the lesson. Alright, so in this lesson, I'm going to teach you two different ways of playing this song. Now, rhythmically, this song in the studio version has a lot of changes on the upbeats, so it can be tricky for beginners. And in this easy version, we're going to get rid of a lot of the passing chords, and we're just going to be playing the main chords. And in the second half of this video, I'll be teaching you something that's a lot closer to the studio recording if you really want to jam along to that. So let's start off with the intro of the easy version, and there's just two lines of chords here. We're going to start with the C chord. So we're going to hold that out for a full bar or 4 beats. Then we're going to go to an E7 chord, hold that out for 2 beats, and then we have 2 quick passing chords. We go to A minor and then G, and they're going to be played for 1 beat each. So for this bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go to an F chord. Now you can play a full F bar chord like this, or you can play an F chord like this. This is the one I generally prefer, because it's going to make our transition to the C/E a bit easier. So it's ring and pinky on the 3rd frets of the 5th and 4th string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd, and index on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. And ideally, if you can, reach over your thumb to hit the 1st fret of the 6th string. So we're going to hold that out for 3 beats, and on the 4 beat, we're going to go to an C/E. So it's the same as the C chord, except you are allowed to hit the 6th string here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for the next bar, we'll go to D minor, hold that out for 2 beats, a G7 for 2 beats. So G7's ring on the 3rd fret, middle on the 2nd fret of the 5th, and index finger on the 1st fret of the 1st string. And then we end on a C. So the intro, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, next we get to the verse, which is also used in the break and the bridge for this easy version. It's just a nice and easy 4 chords. We have a C, then an A minor, then our F, and then a G chord. Now we're going to just strum at 8th notes with a down, up, down, up, down, up strumming pattern. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and what you can do is you can actually accent the 2 and the 4 beat, make those strums sound a bit louder, and that gives you a better rhythmic feel. So 1, 2, and 3 and 4 and you're going to play that strumming pattern once for each chord, and the easy verse will just sound like this. And you can play that again and again for all the verses and the bridge and break. Let's move on to the easy chorus, and there's 3 lines of chords here. We're going to start with our F, and then we'll go up to a G, C, and then A minor. And we're continuing on with that really easy down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up strumming pattern. So just an 8th note strumming pattern. Our second line of chords is almost the same, except with the 3rd bar, we're going to play an E7 instead of a C. And then for the 3rd bar, it's just the F and the G. So that's it for the chorus, really nice and simple, and it'll sound like this. Now, the only other thing we need to learn for this easy version is the outro. So our first 3 chords are the same as the verse. So we have C, A minor, F, but then we throw in some spicy chords here. We're going to go outside of the key and we're going to play a G sharp. So just take your F chord shape and move it up to the 4th and 6th frets. And then we're going to go to A sharp, so up 2 frets. And then we're going to end on a C. So that's it for the outro. The first 3 chords, we have that simple strumming pattern, and then the G sharp and the A sharp are just strummed once, and then we end with the C. So the outro. That's it for the easy version. So now let's take a look at the studio version, where it's a little more complex, especially rhythmically. So let's start with the intro. Now, it's pretty much exactly the same as the easy version I taught you, except with one change, and that's the second chord. So we're going to start with the C chord, hold that out for 1 bar, and then we're going to go to an E/G sharp. So from the C, I feel the easiest way of playing this is to keep your middle finger where it is, reach your pinky finger up to the 4th fret of the 6th string, and then index finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. Now you want to keep that 5th string muted. You could do that by touching it with your pinky finger. And it's just these 3 strings that we want ringing out. So that's E/G sharp. Now if you can't play that, then just do the E7. That's okay as well. But for the second bar, E/G sharp held out for 2 beats, and then A minor, G for 1 beat each. We then go to an F, and then C/E, same as a C with our low E ringing. Changed on the 4 beat, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then D minor for 2 beats, G7 for 2 beats, and then C. So the intro is more or less the same as the easy version. We just changed that E7 for that E/G sharp. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's move on to the verse, and there's one line of chords here. Now, as you can see, the first chord for each bar is pretty much the same as the easy version. So we have C, we have A minor, we have F and G, but we have some passing chords here, and they're denoted below in a smaller font. So that's just showing you that those chords are just held out very briefly. Now for the strumming pattern, let's look at the first bar, and it's all down, up, down, up, down, up, but on the end beat after the 3, we're going to change to a C/B. So from the C, you just lift your ring and middle finger and move your middle finger up to the 2nd fret of the 5th string. It's technically a C major 7/B, but let's just call it the C/B. And ideally, if you can, just mute that 4th string. Now that's on the up strum. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we've got to catch that C/B on the up strum, the end beat after the 3. We're going to change to our next bar, our A minor, and this is on the end beat after the 4. So we catch this A minor on the end beat after the 4 and continue on with the strumming pattern until the end beat after the 3, where we have another passing chord, which is our G. Now, ideally you should play the G like this. So ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th, and if you can, pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Although if you just hit these strings and then strum from sort of the middle strings, you won't risk hitting that open 1st string. So that's an easier way of doing it. But anyway, we start this A minor on the end beat. So and 1 and 2 and 3 and so far 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Again, for the next bar, we're gonna catch this F chord on another end beat, and it's the same strumming pattern that we had in our previous bar. Now the transitional chord here is the F sus2. So from our F, and we're going to play that with our thumb reaching over the top like this. If you can't hit the 1st fret of the 6th string with your thumb, that's okay. Just focus on the middle 4 strings here. And the transitional chord is F sus2, so we just lift our middle finger. And that's on the end beat after the 3, or an up strum. So, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then for the final bar, we go to the G, and this is caught on the up strum as well, but we have no transitional chords, so it's going to be played for that up strum and then for a full bar. So, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once we put that all together, we have the verse, which isn't too tricky, but you know, those changes on the upbeat are really what makes this special and makes it sound closer to how Elton's playing the piano. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 So that's it for the verse. Next we move on to the chorus. For the chorus we'll start with an F, then we'll go to a G, and then we're going to go to a C, and we have a transitional chord here again, and that's that C/B. And we change chords on the 4 beat, and that's where we're going to go to the C/B. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and for the A minor to the G, we do the exact same thing. So change on the 4 beat. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So that's it for the first line of chords. For the second line of chords, we have our F for 1 full strumming pattern, our G for 1 full strumming pattern. Then we go to an E/G sharp, which looks like this. So index finger on the 4th fret of the 6th, pinky finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string, and ring finger on the 6th fret of the 4th. You want to keep everything else muted, and you can do that by just resting your index finger over those strings. So if that is too tricky for you, you can just play that E7 chord, but E/G sharp has a bit more tension in my opinion and sounds nicer when we then get to the A minor. So that 4th bar is the same as the first line of chords, so A minor up until the 4 beat, and then we're going to go to the G. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then for the third line of chords, it's F for 1 full bar and G for 1 full bar. So the chorus is simple enough. The only tricky things are really that E/G sharp chord, but you can replace that with an E7 if you want to. So the chorus. Alright, cool. So that's it for the chorus. Next we get to the break and also the bridge. Now the chords are identical to the verse. The only thing that changes here though is the rhythm. So now we're no longer doing those passing chords on upbeats. We're going to be playing them on downbeats. So for the C to the C/B, we're going to be just doing that constant down, up, down, up, down, up strumming pattern, but we'll change on the 4 beat. So similar to what we had in the chorus. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and same with the A minor to the G, and same for the F to the F sus2. And the G is just played for 1 full strumming pattern. So the break and the bridge are a lot more on the downbeat, a lot easier to follow, I guess. And that will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and that's repeated again and again. Now the final thing we need to learn is the outro. So it's almost the same as the break and the bridge. So the first 3 bars are identical, but then after that F to the F sus2, we're then going to shift up to a G sharp, and then A sharp, and then end our song on a C. So the G sharp and the A sharp are the same shapes as that F, just up at 6th and 4th frets, and then 6th and 8th frets. So the outro, 1, 2, 4. So those are all the parts to the studio version that sounds closer to Elton John's piano. Rhythmically a little trickier, but it does pay off and it sounds closer to the original song. So now I'll be doing a full playthrough of the song, and I'll have my good friend Eric lending his awesome vocals to this playthrough. So feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go. Happy holidays, everyone.
Build a fire and gather round the tree. Fill the glass and maybe come and sing with me. just having so much fun. While we're here, can we all spare a thought for the ones who have gone? Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, so just keep kissing me under the mistletoe. Pour out the wine, let's toast and pray for the summer snow. I know there's been pain this year, but it's time to let it go. Next year you never know. For now, Merry Christmas. We'll dance in the kitchen while embers glow. We both know love, but this love we got is the best of all. Wish you could see it through my eyes, then you would know. My God, you look beautiful. But now, Merry Christmas. I feel it when it comes. Every year helping us carry on. Filled up with so much love. All the family and friends are together when we all belong. Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, Christmas time for you and I. We'll have a good night and a Merry Christmas. It's Christmas time for you and I. We'll have a good night and a Merry Christmas. It's Christmas time for you and I. We'll have a good night and a Merry Christmas. It's Christmas time for you and I. We'll have a good night and a Merry Christmas time. Build a fire and gather round the tree. Fill the glass and maybe come and sing with me. So kiss me under the mistletoe. Pour out the wine, let's toast and pray for the summer snow. Know there's been pain this year, but it's time to
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.